Hey guys, Mark Isms here. Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to talk about the stimulus. We're a few days before the presidential election, and so far negotiations for the stimulus talk have absolutely gone downhill. They've actually, Steve Mnuchin and Pelosi, the House Speaker, have actually completely stopped communication, and at this point they're communicating between letters. And there's no more face-to-face conversation. There's not even a phone call being made. And we're only a few days away from the election. And so, it does not look bright for the stimulus. A lot of people think, and even Trump says, and we'll look at a video in just a second, that he believes there's going to be a bigger and better stimulus after the election. Nancy Pelosi says she is optimistic still to see a stimulus sometime in the near future. She did not give an indication when or how that's going to take place. And honestly, I think it's a lot of fluff and a lot of talk just to save face and to keep her looking like the good guy. But let's go ahead and check out a video. This is my reaction to Nancy Pelosi doing a quick interview.
You said a few days ago that, quote, we'd have to have our legislation all written by the end of the week to get it passed by Election Day. That was last week. You still have not reached a deal. Is it fair to say that a coronavirus relief package is not going to be signed into law before Election Day? There just isn't the time to do it?
Well, I'll never give up hope. I'm optimistic. We put pen to paper and have been writing the bill based on what we hope will be the outcome, what they said they would get back to us on. Here's the thing. For us to do anything, I want to just say to our friends out there who are suffering, and the country is suffering. Working families are suffering. Millions more into poverty. In the month of September, nearly 900,000 women left the workforce. So we have to act. To do anything, though, that does not crush the virus is really official malfeasance. And to crush the virus, we just have to follow the science. Testing, tracing, treatment, mask wearing, ventilation, separation, and the rest. And that is what Vice President Biden has put forth.
He's asking a question about the stimulus. She's not giving the answer. She's basically beating around the bush. Let's see what she says now.
We have it in our bill. They said they're going to get back. Last week, you remember they said we'll support the testing language with minor touch. Well, that was 55% of the language. We're still waiting for the final okay, and that is a central issue in all of this. We cannot just say, President, here's trillions of dollars, spend it any way you want. A strategic plan.
Speaker Pelosi, when's the drop-dead deadline when a deal cannot happen before Election Day? Because as you know, millions of Americans are suffering. There are 8 million more in poverty. All those women that dropped out of the workforce, presumably, I would think a lot of them probably dropped out because their kids are doing remote education and they have to be.
Mind you, at this point, they basically have gone on break again. Nobody's in session. Nobody's discussing the stimulus. Let's hear what her answer is.
Home with their children, thus they're giving up paychecks. They need help. When's the drop-dead deadline for them to get this help?
Well, I do think, as I say, we're ready. We can change some words in the bill should they come back with some modifications. But you mentioned schools. Children should be safe in schools. We can make that happen across the country.
Did she answer the question?
It only takes more money. And that is for separation, for ventilation, for technology, for more teachers and the rest. Children learning, parents earning. So it is related.
And this is what we've been dealing with the entire time, folks.
To the separation that we say in our health piece. But the education piece is another policy piece where we have some disagreement. Otherwise, we can negotiate the rest of it.
So we know that the White House has moved closer to your position on lots of issues. Coronavirus testing, contact tracing strategy, unemployment benefits, local government.
They haven't yet. That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the final.
Well, so they said they would, and you're waiting to see it on paper.
They haven't yet. And also, same thing. They keep moving the goalpost. They every time they.
It's funny. She says Mnuchin and the other guys are moving the goalpost. And they said the exact same thing in an interview coming from the other side. They said that Nancy keeps moving the goalposts. So there's some communication that's a little interesting going on behind the scenes.
Say we move the goalposts. That means they're projecting what they did. We're trying to unify the country, and one way to do it is to come together to crush the virus so that we can open our economy, open our schools, feed our people. 17 million children food insecure in our country. But again, the answer is crush the virus.
So I get that, but it just seems like they keep moving closer and closer. I get that you're waiting for it on paper, but it just seems like you're winning. I mean, that's what it seems like to me. I'm looking at all the things that the White House is moving towards your position on, and it seems like you could take yes for an answer.
Well, basically, as soon as they say this is it, in our negotiations, yes, that is the case. But then they take it back, and when they come back, it isn't what we anticipated. So I'm hoping.
So at this point, she doesn't even know what she's talking about. She's babbling. She's not answering the questions. Let's go ahead and see what President Trump said just today in an interview outside of the White House.
I'll always talk about it because our people should get it. Yeah, our people should get it, the stimulus. But Nancy Pelosi is only interested in bailing out badly run, crime-ridden Democrat cities and states. That's all she's interested in. She's not interested in helping the people. After the election, we'll get the best stimulus package you've ever seen. Because I think we're going to take back the House because of her.
Trump thinks that they're going to take back the House because Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats, the House Democrats right now, keep stalling, keep changing the plans, keep quote unquote moving the goalpost. And every time there's a proposition brought to the table, they want to tweak something or change the words, or they're not happy with the compromise. And there's a lot of compromise going on, especially from the Republican side. The price has been bumped up. They're trying to meet the Democrats halfway, and there's a lot of other things that are trying to be met in the middle. They're just not happy. And so Pelosi's just a big roadblock in the way of, and I believe this to be true, in the way of the American people getting the stimulus. So that's your quick update on what's happening with the stimulus. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, check back often, and check me out on TikTok as well. I do a lot of short 15 to 60 second updates on the stimulus and what's happening in our economy. So we'll see you guys. Stay fresh, stay funky, stay safe. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.